What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Social Media Mindset Podcast. And I'm excited for today because usually I've got on a realtor, a lender, an author, right, a coach like myself. But today we're kind of going in a little different direction. And I think it's going to add immense value to you, the realtor, the lender that's paying attention to this. And so I want you guys to help me welcome Zac Shull to the show. Zac, what's up, bro?
Hey, Kyle, what's up? Appreciate you having me, man. It's an honor.
Heck yeah, man. I'm pumped to have you. And for those of you that don't know Zac, because you live under a rock, Zac is the producer of the Agent Power Huddle. And I'm going to give you my personal overview of it. But then, Zac, I want you to jump in as well. But guys, the Agent Power Huddle is a Facebook group and really a community that's much bigger than that. That's just aimed to add value back into the people that serve that community. It's led by a really cool dude named Jesse. And you guys, man, y'all produce different YouTube shows. You've requested a video from my daughter for one of those YouTube shows. Like, y'all are uber creative, but man, y'all are helping thousands of realtors across the country through the Agent Power Huddle. Man, how would you, as the producer of all of that, how would you define who you guys are and what you do?
Sure. Well, first I'll say I let the audience know that we met through the Agent Power Huddle, and you just hosted your third time. So hopefully that adds some credibility to the Agent Power Huddle that you hosted it 3 times. You've been on a couple of our other shows. So, Kyle has a lot of credibility. So that'll hopefully give me credibility with the listeners.
100%.
Yeah. So the best part is it's free. It's Monday through Friday. We do it live on Zoom and live in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Agent Power Huddle. It's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And every day we just have different guest experts on, cover different topics. And then we post a replay on YouTube. And it's also available on all podcast platforms. So if you just search for Agent Power Huddle, you could find it on YouTube or other podcasts.
And man, today, what I'm excited about for having you on is, you're a marketing guy, much like myself. You are, at least in my limited time of getting to know you, you kind of seem to be a jack of all trades, like you kind of just do a lot of things well. And I'm willing to say that 99% of what you do well, most realtors and lenders suck at. And so it's going to make for a great episode. And so guys, we're going to do this episode kind of different. Gary V, who I love, he does some random videos called Underrated or Overrated. And so he gets just different topics thrown at him, and then he discusses whether he thinks those things are overrated, underrated, and then we'll debate as to why. And so, Zac, you ready to play this first ever overrated, underrated game on the Social Media Mindset Podcast?
I'm ready. I'm honored to be the first one, so this should be fun. We're gonna
heck yeah, bro.
High.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Number 1, overrated, underrated, email campaigns.
Ooh. So I think for realtors, I think they definitely underrate it for sure. Because I don't think it's everything with digital marketing. It's all about the value. So I don't think they understand that you should be providing value in your emails. You don't want to just send your listings all the time. If you have a community event, a paper shredding event, you should be doing these type of events anyway. You should be doing things more outside of real estate. And then you can send those emails to people, do some community networking events, whatever it is. And that's the type of stuff that you want to email your list. So I definitely would say, I think underrated for sure. I just don't think they know how to utilize it fully.
Yeah, I would probably, I'm going to have to disagree with you at some point on this episode, so people know that this is legit.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you. I think they are very underrated. I think mainly, I bet most realtors think they're overrated because they do them and they get nothing from them because they suck. And so maybe we should have said that a good email campaign is underrated because there's not a lot of good email campaigns out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because like I said, I think a lot of them just think they need to send their listing down and be all business. But, like you always say, it's about being social. Maybe social media is a little different in email, but email is the same thing. It's still social. you're in somebody's personal space, you're in their inbox, so you want to be personable,
Yeah, man. I totally agree with you. All right. So email campaigns underrated. Number 2, Facebook. Underrated, overrated. What do you think?
It's a tough one because you could
Or
go
you
either
can say
way.
properly rated.
I guess it depends on the person because you did a great you've done a bunch of great Agent Power Huddle episodes about Facebook. You just did one about how to use it as your CRM. And I think if you use it correctly, it's underrated. But I think if you're just posting your listings and stuff like that, it's overrated. I think it depends on how you use it. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not. I think everybody knows where I stand on Facebook. So that's that's my bread and butter. I still believe it's the most underrated platform out there because everybody wants to jump ship and go to these other places when there's just so much value to be had directly through Facebook. So I'm gonna go underrated as well. Let's see. Number 3, because y'all do a lot of this in Agent Power Huddle, live video.
Oh, way underrated for sure. I think live streaming kind of been around for a bit. Facebook live streaming has been around for a bit, but I still think people aren't fully utilizing it. And I think a lot of it is just because they're scared. It could be scary to be on something live. Like, what if you curse or something happened? You say something you shouldn't. But I think for sure, definitely underrated. And they should be utilizing it all the time. Even I tell agents all the time, even if it's only 15 seconds and you just give like a quote of the day or something, just do something, get your visibility out there.
So what would you like? Let's stop the game for a moment and kind of put our coaching hats on. To the lender and realtor that's listening right now, that they're struggling with the thought of doing live video, like what would you say to them to kind of encourage them to just lean into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to make it fun, just like anything else. If you don't want to do something, you're not going to do it, or if you do it, you probably suck at it. So you got to make it fun. So maybe involve people in your office, involve a client, have some type of contest, community event, tell a joke, tell a funny story. So whatever is fun to you, just try to make it a game out of it. Try to make it fun, because when you're laughing and having fun, then you kind of forget you're on camera too.
I love it, man. That's great advice. All right. Are you ready for this one? The next one.
Ready. Hopefully, maybe we'll disagree on this one.
Websites. And let me rephrase this. Not like ESPN.com or Zillow.com, like personal websites.
Yeah. So a lot of these, it's like, it depends on the person, but I think overall, I think that they're underrated too, because I don't think, you have a website from a branch, like a corporate, cookie cutter website, but you don't have your videos on it. You don't have your phone number on it. You don't have updated headshots. You just have your listings and that's it. Once you get someone to your site, you want to keep them there forever. So I think it's underrated because agents don't realize what they need, what on their site. Like I just see so many agents in general will have 0 videos, you got to have videos, you got to have a welcome video, whatever, informative videos. So I think underrated for sure.
All right. Well, it didn't take long before we got into the disagreement, because I think websites are grossly overrated. And I'll tell you why. And for everybody listening, neither one of us are right. We're both giving opinions, and you're allowed to pick whichever one you want to be the most right for yourself. But here's why I say overrated. I don't know if you know this about me, but I owned a company for 3 years that we built websites for realtors. And so for 3 years, man, I force-fed websites down realtors' throats. And what I have decided is, because of just the power that exists of like the big dog websites, the Googles of the world, the Zillows of the world, those websites. And because of now companies like Linktree, where you can kind of get away without having a website. If you've got a great presence on social and you've got a great presence on YouTube where you're housing all your videos, I think a realtor in 2021 can totally get away with literally having a like kyledraper.com domain that just redirects you to a link tree or to a YouTube page. And I don't think people care anymore. You know, I think we used to push like IDX is a big deal, but let's be honest, nobody's searching on your website when they can go to Zillow and do it. And so for those reasons, then I would say that I think websites are grossly overrated. But I would agree with you that if they're done well, obviously they could be underrated. But who's really doing it well, man?
Yeah,
not a lot of them.
It's easy for someone like you with such a nice website to say all this because you have a really good, your Kyle Draper website's really nice.
But you know what? As nice as it is, it doesn't really generate me business.
Yeah,
it's cool and it's pretty, and and I built it myself over time, and I am constantly tweaking it and changing it. But it gets me into my next overrated, underrated is something that I suck at, and I can't decide if there's value in it or not. SEO, overrated, underrated.
Oof. Do you know David Tam?
I feel like I know that name.
Yeah, he's hosting Agent Power Huddle.
Okay.
He's really big on SEO. I'm gonna have to connect you guys. He'd be great on here.
I'd love to talk to him.
He's super cool. But he's all about SEO, and I know he's done SEO for I have a little background too at SEO. I used to work for a agency too. We did SEO and websites and stuff.
Then you better be careful how you answer this because you know more than me.
Yeah. So I know with David, he has gotten people who hosted Agent Power Huddle, like there's someone named Eric Hatch in North Dakota. He's helped him show up on the first page. So do I think it depends. I mean, if you're in like New York, it's obviously it's going to be harder. If you're in you're in Houston, right? Where are you?
I'm in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. So yeah, I think
close enough. I'm in Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I think it depends. So overall, I think for agents, it's overrated, I would say, just because it might be hard to rank your keyword, especially with Zillow and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's overrated unless you're in a smaller area and there's not a lot of competition doing it and you could dominate.
And man, I'm going to agree with you for a different reason. What I've seen in my years of doing this is just like with Facebook ads, just like with social media experts, right? People that want to claim to be an expert. There's a lot more bad apples than there are good ones. And the reason that I say SEO is overrated is if you get the wrong SEO person, you'll give them $10,000 over 6 months and nothing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And now you could give $10,000 to David and you might make $100,000 from it, but there's just not a lot of Davids out there. There's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing in the digital world. And so, man, I would tell most realtors to steer clear of SEO just for the simple sake of it's just so hard to get somebody that actually knows what they're doing and that you can trust to not just kind of run off with your money.
Yeah, because it's hard to check unless you know how to check. Like if somebody's doing your social media, they posted, but like if they're doing your SEO, are you really going to track your keywords and all that? So yeah, it's really easy to get burned by these SEO companies. For sure.
No doubt. And I'd love to have David on the show because I'd love for him to change my opinion about SEO because I know it's powerful. I know it works. I've just met a lot more shady people than I have good, genuine people in that space.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to want to trust somebody with that amount of money.
Yeah, I'll definitely connect you guys. I know he's done stuff with Google and Facebook. So if you can get someone like him who knows what they're doing and are trustworthy, then I would say it's probably worth it. But for the average person, average realtor or lender, no, definitely not.
Yeah, cool, man. Oh, yeah, please connect us. All right. You ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
Stories.
Oh, definitely underrated. I think.
Why?
Because I think people aren't using it. And they don't understand
what do people not get about it? Like what? Like, because to me, it's so dumb that people aren't using it more. So obviously there's a disconnect in not seeing the value that I see. So what are they not seeing about it that they should be?
A good question. I think there's a couple different parts of it because I heavily utilize stories, for Agent Power Huddle, anything one thing I don't think agents realize is you could turn any piece of content into a story. So
Yeah.
anything that you really aren't supposed to do that, but you can. So any graphic or any video that I post, I'm turning that into a story on Facebook and Instagram. So I think part of it might be like the technicality of how to actually do it.
Yeah.
Like it's not, sometimes it can be difficult on Facebook, unless you do it from your phone. Like unless you're doing an original piece of content, like you at a showing or at a paper shredding event, it's easy. You just point, you go on your app, you click story, you point and shoot, and it's just that easy. And I don't think, maybe they don't understand how easy it is. And I think they don't also understand how it works, how more people are looking at stories than they're scrolling timelines now, because our attention span is so short, we can't even go through the timeline. We're looking at stories instead, then we look at the timeline. So
Right.
so definitely underrated, and I think it's because they either don't understand how to do it or they just don't understand how it works.
I think so too. I totally agree with you. All right, the next one, you and I have been talking about this offline a lot this week. Text campaigns.
Oh, definitely underrated. I think that's starting to catch on more now because there's like these bigger box companies that are doing it, and it's easy, just as easy to set up as drip campaigns. And I know a lot of CRMs are implementing them as well. And people see it's harder to get people to open emails for phone calls. Who I don't answer a number anymore if I don't know who it is.
Nope, me either.
But then they text you. You can see, oh, it's a real person. I can answer it. So definitely underrated, and I think they don't understand how to fully use it yet either. So if you're sending emails, you should be sending texts as well, for sure.
Yeah, man. I am just, as you know, I'm kind of just getting into text campaigns and trying to leverage them, to send out slides at the end of my talks and things like that. But I'm surprised that more realtors are, specifically realtors, aren't putting little drop downs on there like yard signs that say, for more information, text info to 74354, or to see more houses like this, text blah 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 to blah blah blah. To me, it just seems like such an easy way to get people to pay attention. But man, realtors aren't using it. And so I think it's grossly underrated as well.
Yeah, I think that they don't understand how they can use it. If you have a free guide or a lead magnet or an event coming up, it's so easy to just tell people to text a number to get your, you can email them or text them your lead magnet, or, if you have a recipe guide or like a guide for the best restaurants in town,
right?
You want to get that stuff out to people. Texting is a great way to do that.
100%. 100%. All right. Next one. You ready?
I'm ready. I actually have one too. So if we have time, maybe I'll give you a couple.
Okay. We can reverse this game. I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
It's safer in my seat, but I'll play. I'll play on the other side. So I got one more and then you can go. TikTok.
I think definitely underused. I appreciate your honesty being a Facebook guy promoting TikTok, which I know you might disagree with me. It's underrated, but I think it's underrated, especially because you can repurpose your stuff. So if you film something for TikTok, you can take that and post it on Instagram and Facebook. And also TikTok, Facebook and Instagram kind of gatekeep. The organic reach, they cut down on it. They want you to spend money.
Big time.
And I feel like TikTok doesn't gatekeep as much because they're the new kid on the block and they want to get more people. So I think they give you a longer reach. So yeah, that's another reason why I think it's underrated.
Well, bro, you're not giving me the benefit of the doubt because I just taught a TikTok class today.
Oh, nice.
And I've been all in on TikTok for about 47 days now. And so I am super hyped on TikTok. And I agree, it is crazily underrated. And I'm doing my best to get as many realtors to give it a shot as I can.
I forgot, you're ahead of the curve with TikTok because I posted one for Agent Power Huddle of you. And then you did
that's right.
Yeah, you did a response video to it.
I do edit it, man.
Yeah. So that's a great
I know what's up.
People should be using. Yeah.
Dude, it is so cool. It is such a fun tool. And man, I'm learning new stuff about it every single day. And so I would highly encourage people to jump on that TikTok bandwagon. So
I think it's underrated. Sorry to cut you off. I think it's underrated
too.
because I thought this too. Everyone thinks it's just dancing. Like, I didn't pay it any mind because I'm like, I'm not a 12-year-old girl. I'm not doing any dances. So what am I doing on here? But that's not the case at all. You know, there's actually everybody's on there, and there's all types of content. If you don't dance, you don't have to dance. You can just
and man, Gary V, like he just does, man. The dude's pulse that he has on the trends and all that is crazy. But he came out months ago, right, and was like, man, don't follow the trends on TikTok. Be who you want to be on TikTok and let the right people find you. And he was really one of the first people that just embraced educating on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right. He's not doing stupid stuff, and he's not freaking booty dancing to Beyonce. He's being Gary V on TikTok, and man, it works. And so I'm trying to follow suit and do the same thing. And so it's powerful. I've had a guy on my podcast that's a realtor in Delaware, Zachary Faust, who has 1.6 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
I think I told you he should host Agent Power Huddle.
Yeah.
He'd be incredible on there. And so it's real life, man. It is turning into an adult space that isn't just a bunch of teeny boppers. And I'm digging it. So I definitely think it's underrated. All right. So what do you got for me? We're flipping the script.
So, I know we've been talking for a bit. I don't know if we're wrapping up soon, but I definitely have one.
Okay.
And so QR codes.
Bro. So here is what's fascinating to me about QR codes. Pre-COVID, QR codes never even made it, but were absolutely dead. Mm-hmm. Right? You had to have a third-party app to even scan one. Mm-hmm. You know, boomers didn't have a clue what they were. Like, it was a fish out of water. And then COVID hit, bro. And I don't think anything has had the resurgence in the last year and a half like the QR code has, because they are everywhere. Right? Every restaurant we go to, we got to scan the QR code everywhere we go. And so, man, I think they are grossly underrated. And here's what I would be doing with them. If I were a realtor or lender, I would reprint my business cards with a QR code on one side that took them to like a video of your story, a video of how to get involved with you, right? Some sort of value add that's going to encourage them to get to know you more. I would have a QR code really big on every yard sign that I've got in the front yard. I mean, I would even be interested to see if, like, you had a physical office building, could you put like a lit up QR code on the outside of your building that people could just hold their phone up and scan, and man, a video of you could start playing. So I think that QR codes are wildly underrated because of how intrinsic they are to our society now. Everyone, my parents are 64, 65 years old, and they know what a QR code is and how to do it. That's crazy.
Yeah. If you really want to take it to the next level, you get it tattooed on your hand, and then you instead of a business card, you just put your hand up and they scan your hand.
Dude, somebody might think that's like the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I got a flyer in the mail from a realtor actually today, and I was just thinking, I was checking it out. I didn't see a QR code, and I'm like, man, that's just another added benefit to your marketing.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you used to have a third-party app, and now your phone will just pick it up and go right to the site. So
right.
And there's we had someone named Danny Wood host Agent Power Huddle.
I love Danny. He's awesome, man.
Super smart. He's a man. Yeah. He'd be great on here too. He did an episode and he was just showing us what he's been doing, and he uses it for everything. And then he showed us there's a website. I can't remember exactly what it is, but just Google. It might be QR code reader.
Okay.
You can make your QR code for free. So not only is it a great tool, but you can do it for free, and it's super easy. Even if you're not tech savvy, it's easy enough where you could set it up. So yeah, QR codes are definitely underrated, especially now because phones just scan it, unlike before where you had to use an app.
we'll find that link. My team will, and we'll put it in the show notes so that it's easily accessible to people.
Yeah, when
So
we get
Zach
off, I'll send
is
it to you. I have it bookmarked. I'll
oh
send it to you.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So as we wrap this up, man, what is there something that we haven't talked about that you believe realtors and lenders should leverage more?
Good question. So I mean, and you've covered this too. I think any social media person will talk about it. It's social media. You have to be more social. You know, the 80-20 rule is so important. 80%, sharing and lifestyle, and 20% real estate. So, you are your own brand, and you need to convey that through videos and your day-to-day life. If you're a more private person, I understand, but you want to kind of give people a piece of who you are. They get to know you, like you, and trust you, and then do business with you. So I think that's the
Yeah,
biggest thing is, don't just post real estate content. If anything, post less of that and more of the fun social stuff to get people engaged.
I love that. And yes, I 100% put my stamp of approval on that message. My last question, what app are you using right now that you're really liking, whether it's like helping you with graphic design or some like what is there an app that you're using right now that would be beneficial to the listeners to know about?
Good question. So we have like designers and videographers. Um, Honestly, I think like project management stuff helps more. I use Monday.com. There's Trello. There's a whole bunch. But
Yep.
the other thing is with social media is if you can kind of get it organized and make a content calendar. So get some type of calendar
It's
app or
huge.
something. Yeah. So you
Yep.
can, you can see, like, so October's next month. You can see when Halloween is. You can see when these silly hashtag days are, like chocolate chip cookie day or whatever. And then, I like to create content ahead of time, but some of it has to be spontaneous. So I
Yeah.
think if you have a calendar that you can kind of work around, that would be the biggest thing, I would say, for sure.
I love it. I totally agree. We use Monday.com. Well,
Oh,
I
nice.
say my company uses it. I do
Yeah.
not use it. My manager uses it and she
Right.
controls everything. And it's huge. Everything we do is inside of that thing. So it's powerful. That
Yeah.
when we suck at social media, not being organized doesn't help us suck less. So
Yeah. We want to suck less.
that organization is key. Zach, how for people listening that want to get connected with you, how do they get connected with you, with Agent Power Huddle? How do we do it?
Sure. So the first thing is Agent Power Huddle. Any platform that exists, we're on it. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. The biggest thing I would say is our Facebook group, is because we do the Agent Power Huddle live in that Monday through Friday. So check out facebook.com/group/Agent Power Huddle. You could go on YouTube or search any podcast platforms for Agent Power Huddle as well. We have over 200 podcast episodes covering, listings, lead generation, social media, whatever you need, we cover it.
All of it.
Yeah. You can check out Kyle's appearances on there. He's just did his third one. That was last week, right? Yeah, last week.
Yeah. But so then how do people connect to you?
Sure. Yeah. So I
Zach,
have
the human.
Yeah. I have my personal Facebook. You could connect with me on there. My name is spelled ZACSHULL, Zac Shull. You'll see a guy in a tux looking fresh. So
Yeah.
on there. Or if you try to join the Agent Power Huddle group, I'm in there. I'm posting daily, so we can connect through the group. Chances are, if you're trying to get into the group, I'm letting you in anyway. So
Be nice, guys. Be
Yeah.
nice to Zach. He's a gatekeeper.
Yeah, we have a questionnaire when you sign up. How'd you hear about the Agent Power Huddle? So just say from Draper, Kyle's show, and we'll connect and we'll talk about good things about Kyle.
No, that's lame. But a lot of you guys, a lot of these listeners, they'd make great hosts for the Agent Power Huddle. So hopefully some of these listeners will go over into that group and connect with you.
Yeah,
Because bro, this has
looking
been
for hosts. Yeah, so if you want to
yeah.
host come to the group or talk to Kyle. He can, I'm sure he wouldn't mind connecting us, but I think the
Absolutely.
biggest way to connect is definitely the Facebook group. That's what we really push, and we have a great community in there.
I love it. Well, bro, thank you so much for coming on and doing an episode with me, man. This has been a lot of fun.
It was, yeah. Hopefully we'll do it again, and I'll definitely connect you with David. David's a riot. He's funnier than I am. I know it's hard to believe, but he's funnier than me, so it'll be great on
Good. Well, man, I can't wait. And guys, stay tuned because I feel like David's going to be a guest on the show. But for now, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you listening. We'll be back soon with another really cool person with an even cooler story. See ya.